Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're zeroing in on learning English.
Right.
You, our listener, you've probably seen a ton of stuff on this. And, well, we've looked through some really interesting material.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is to pull out the most useful, most encouraging bits for your English journey, wherever you are with it.
Exactly. And our goal today, it's pretty straightforward, really.
Yeah.
We want to extract those practical tips, that motivation,
Yeah.
to give your English learning a real boost. It's all based on the advice, the experiences shared in the sources we looked at.
Think of it less like just downloading information and more like a focused exploration.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Highlighting key strategies, different perspectives from the material that could genuinely shift how you approach learning English, whether you're just starting or, aiming higher.
Okay, so first things first. Why even bother? Why learn English? Our source material dives right into this.
It really does.
It emphasizes just how significant it is as a global language.
It's massive, isn't it? It's the go-to for so much international communication, travel, obviously. Business, yeah. And just the sheer volume of stuff online.
Yeah.
Websites, videos, communities.
It's everywhere. And the sources connect this directly to potential benefits for you, the listener.
Absolutely. Things like studying abroad, that becomes possible. Or better job opportunities, especially in companies that work internationally.
And even just making friends from different countries, right?
Yeah, it opens up that whole social world, too. And, something the source points out, which I think is really encouraging,
What's that?
it's that learning English is actually achievable. It feels daunting sometimes, but break it down step by step.
It's manageable.
It is. It's not some impossible mountain to climb.
That's a really good way to frame it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, whether you're just starting out or maybe you've been at it a while, there are these common hurdles, mistakes people make.
Oh, definitely. The source is quite clear on these.
And one that really jumps out is just the fear, the anxiety around making mistakes at all.
Mm-hmm. That's a big one. Almost universal for learners, I think.
It really is. That fear of not being perfect can just stop you in your tracks.
Absolutely. And the source outlines some specific habits that feed into this, like thinking you need flawless grammar before you even try to speak.
Right. It's like wanting to be a concert pianist before you've even learned scales.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And then there's the tendency to translate everything directly from your native language.
Ah, yeah. Seems logical at first, maybe.
It does, but it actually slows you down. It stops you from starting to think in English, which is kind of the goal.
Makes sense. And what else? Memorizing lists.
Yep, just memorizing lists of words out of context. You have the words, but no idea how they actually fit together, how they're used naturally.
Like collecting bricks, but not knowing how to build a wall.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And another crucial one the source mentions, skipping listening practice.
Ooh, why is that so bad?
Well, listening isn't just about understanding words. It's about catching the rhythm, the intonation, the music of the language.
The flow.
The flow, exactly. But the key thing the source stresses is that these aren't like failures.
Yeah.
They're just normal parts of learning. Recognizing them is the first step to getting past them.
Okay, so recognizing is step one. What about building better habits? The sources suggest a simple daily practice routine, like one that fits into a busy life.
Yes, and this is really practical advice. The idea is consistency, even with short bursts of practice. Around 30 minutes a day is what they suggest.
30 minutes, that sounds doable for most people.
It really does.
Yeah.
And the emphasis isn't on intensity, it's on regularity, that daily touch point with the language.
So how does that 30 minutes break down?
Okay, so the suggestion is 10 minutes of listening. This could be podcasts, YouTube videos, maybe English songs.
Stuff you enjoy anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the key is actively listening, trying to grasp the meaning, noticing the rhythm.
Got it. 10 minutes listening.
Then 10 minutes of speaking. And this is interesting. It doesn't have to be a conversation with someone else initially. The force suggests just talking to yourself. Describe your day, what you're doing. Or use language apps like Cambly or HelloTalk that have speaking exercises.
Ah, so lowering the pressure a bit.
Precisely. Just getting used to producing the sounds, forming sentences, it builds confidence.
Okay, that's 20 minutes. What's next?
Then just 5 minutes of reading. Short stories, news headlines, blog posts. Just getting exposure to written English.
Quick and focused.
Yep. And the final 5 minutes, writing. Could be super simple, a short journal entry, maybe even just drafting a WhatsApp message in English.
So listening, speaking, reading, writing, all in 30 minutes.
Yeah, the beauty is its simplicity and flexibility. Keep it light, keep it fun, but most importantly, keep it regular.
That consistency seems key. Now, the sources also had this little interactive bit, some basic conversation practice.
Yeah, it was a nice touch. The idea is for the listener, you, to repeat some simple sentences.
Even just mentally or
Wow.
quietly.
Exactly. It's about building that initial confidence, getting your mouth and brain used to forming English sentences, internalizing the structures.
Okay, let's try that. Here are the sentences from the material. Listeners, try repeating these, even in your head. Hello, my name is Kate. I am learning English. I want to speak fluently.
Good one.
I practice every day.
Pause. Reinforcing that habit.
I am not afraid to make mistakes.
A pause. Crucial mindset shift.
And finally, English is fun.
Pause. Hopefully. It should be enjoyable. Repeating these, even simple ones, it just helps embed the language, builds that self-assurance.
Absolutely. And that leads nicely into motivation, doesn't it? Because learning a language, well, it has ups and downs.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely not always easy.
And the sources offer a really encouraging message here. They remind us it's a journey, not a race.
Such an important perspective. There will be days it feels effortless, other days less so. And that's totally normal.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up about the tough days.
Exactly. And the source wisely advises focusing on your progress, your own path. Avoid that trap of comparing yourself to others you see online or whatever.
Everyone learns differently at a different pace.
Totally. And I really like this point they made about small improvements. That idea of just getting, say, 1% better each day.
Yeah, the compound effect.
It really adds up over time and just reinforces that you can do this. You, the listener, you're capable. It's about that consistent effort, celebrating the small wins.
Keep going. That's the core message, isn't it?
Simple but powerful. That consistent effort really is the engine of language learning. Not giant leaps, but steady steps.
Now, to make it even more real, the sources shared some tips from other learners. Real people, real strategies.
Yeah, I like this section. Makes it relatable.
So we heard from Maria from Brazil. She watches English movies with subtitles.
Which is great. It mixes entertainment with learning. You pick up vocabulary, hear natural conversation, all while watching something you enjoy.
Makes learning feel less like a chore.
Definitely. Then there was Ahmed from Egypt. His tip was speaking to himself in the mirror.
Sounds a bit strange, maybe, but I can see how it helps confidence.
It really does. It's a safe space, right? No judgment. You practice pronunciation, get comfortable hearing your own voice speaking English, overcomes that initial shyness.
Good point. And finally, Suki from Japan.
Suki listens to English podcasts while walking.
Ah, multitasking. Combining exercise or commuting with learning.
Exactly. It shows how you can weave learning into your existing routine. It feels relaxed, almost passive, but it's still effective exposure.
So the main takeaway from these tips is experiment.
Yeah, basically. Try different things, see what clicks for you. There's no single right way. These are just examples to spark ideas. Find what feels sustainable and, importantly, engaging for your own style.
Great advice. Okay, so just to quickly recap what we've dived into, drawing from our sources.
Let's do it.
We talked about why English is so important globally.
The opportunities it unlocks.
We covered common pitfalls, the fear of mistakes, translating too much, list learning, skipping listening.
And how to see them as just part of the process.
Then that practical 30-minute daily routine, listening, speaking, reading, writing.
Consistency over intensity.
We did that basic conversation practice, repeating those sentences.
Building that initial confidence.
We touched on staying motivated at the journey, not comparing, the power of small steps.
Keeping that positive mindset.
And finally, those real-world tips from learners like Maria, Ahmed, and Suki.
Finding what works for you personally.
Right. So looking ahead, how does this connect?
Well, building directly on this foundation, our next deep dive is going to focus specifically on how to introduce yourself in English.
Ah, okay. Practical application.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doing it confidently, naturally. It's the perfect next step from the principles we've talked about today.
Makes sense. So for everyone listening, keep practicing, keep exploring what works for you.
Yeah.
And remember that initial reason, that spark that made you want to learn English. It's still there.
Absolutely. Embrace the journey, celebrate your progress,
Yeah.
however small it seems, and just keep that enthusiasm going.